NBA players are some of the richest people in this world. But do you know many of them go broke? In this video, we will be looking at the top 10 players who lost all their wealth. Watch till the end, because to know how they did it, losing that kind of wealth is just so dumb. Without further ado, these are the dumbest ways NBA players went completely broke. 10. Sidney Moncrief, career earnings, $7,200,000. Since there is no documentation of Moncrief's earnings during his 11-year NBA career, it is now estimated that he made more than $7.2 million. The Milwaukee Bucks were Moncrief's most notable team when he was an NBA All-Star 5 times. In its first year, he earned the Defensive Player of the Year title. And the next year, he repeated the feat. In NBA history, he is the only guard to have won it twice. The 1980s saw him as one of the league's top two-way guards. But what happened to all that money? Moncrief joined the Dallas Mavericks as an assistant after retiring, and he also started a car business in his native Arkansas. But things went south. Moncrief declared bankruptcy in 2005, yet details of what transpired are unclear. The Mavs, a bank, a number of auto businesses, even a local newspaper are on his list of debtors. After becoming a Fox Sports analyst and coach of the Fort Worth Flyers in the NBA G League, it is reported that Moncrief's financial difficulties did not last long. That was a close call. 09. Eric Strickland, career earnings, $13 million. Eric Strickland experienced 9 NBA seasons with 6 different teams. When he played 68 games and averaged 12.8 PPG and 4.8 RPG with the Dallas Mavericks in the 1999-2000 season, he reached his ultimate peak. From his playing days, he continued to make a comfortable living, earning about $13 million. Whoa! But most of it was going to be destroyed by someone he believed to be trustworthy. A friend contacted Strickland with what was deemed to be a can't-miss real estate bargain. Even Strickland's father investigated it for his son and found that it appeared to be a legitimate and lucrative possibility. Strickland made an undisclosed investment in an effort to sell the land for a significant profit. It turned out that the person he believed to be a friend had taken advantage of Strickland. Although Strickland's current financial situation is unknown, this unsuccessful transaction undoubtedly didn't make matters better. 8. Dan Issel, career earnings, $18 million. One of the finest players in Denver Nuggets history is Dan Issel. He was a 6-time All-ABA player, a 7-time NBA All-Star, and a member of the Basketball Hall of Fame. In his 10 seasons with the Nuggets, where he played his entire career, he averaged 20.7 PPG. He even went on to become an executive and the team's head coach. Issel had other interests than basketball that would prove to be his downfall. His efforts as a company owner failed, and he declared bankruptcy in 2009. Issel was said to owe over $4.5 million to 34 separate creditors, which deeply humiliated him. Issel had to put some of his favorite items up for sale in order to restore his good standing. These things had special memories for Issel from both the NBA and ABA. Since then, Issel has gotten rid of that loss and restored his good status with the IRS. All's well that ends well, right? 7. Mookie Blaylock, career earnings, $31,700,000. Mookie Blaylock can be regarded as the finest point guard in Atlanta Hawks history before a player by the name of Trae Young took the NBA by storm. But that is off topic. Blaylock battled alcoholism and substance addiction for a significant portion of the later stages of his career and his life after retirement. Most of his money was either devoured by the condition he had or went into attempting to defend himself in court. In 2013, Blaylock was the driver in a deadly vehicle accident that claimed a woman's life and almost his own. Blaylock lost everything he had monetarily, as well as a 15-year prison term due to the disaster. He is currently serving out his reduced sentence of 3 years in prison and 8 years on probation. 6. Clifford Robinson, career earnings, $60,200,000. Clifford Robinson, sometimes referred to as Uncle Cliffy, was the most important rock for the early 1990s Portland Trail Blazers. The only All-Star honor for his career, he was also recognized as the NBA's 6th Man of the Year. He wouldn't give up playing until he was 40 years old. Robinson filed for bankruptcy just 2 seasons after his retirement, despite having made over $60 million throughout his career. According to the claim, he had assets worth $7.1 million, but $12.40 worth of debt. If you do the math, you would see that he owed more than $5 million. Ooh, shady. Robinson unfortunately lost his fight with lymphoma in 2020. 5. Kenny Anderson, career earnings, $63,400,000. For most of his 14-year NBA career, Kenny Anderson was a member of the New Jersey Nets in the early 1990s. He played his first 4.5 seasons of professional basketball in New Jersey, where he also appeared in one All-Star game. He made a whopping $60 million throughout his playing career, although it is believed that most of it had already been spent by the time he decided to retire in 2006. There are a number of reasons, and not one like others, that can be blamed for Anderson's financial difficulties. He struggled with his own psychological and emotional problems, and he had many DUI charges that undoubtedly hurt his finances. He is said to have fathered 7 children from 5 different women, according to reports. He was financially handicapped by child support obligations and divorce settlements, but he appeared to turn his life around in 2017. He published a film titled Mr. Chibbs that chronicled his battles and resistance. It demonstrated a heroic reversal from a life that may have taken a far different course. 4. Larry Johnson, career earnings, $83 million. The grandmama Larry Johnson may be among the finest power forwards whose peak was cut short. Johnson was selected by the Charlotte Hornets after becoming a standout at UNLV, where he quickly won over the team's fans. In Charlotte, where he spent 5 seasons and was a 2-time All-Star, he averaged 19.2 PPG and 9.2 RPG. The New York Knicks were his next stop, where he continued to be a fan favorite and made one of the most famous 4-point plays in NBA history. Johnson's NBA career, which was cut short by back issues, totaled more than $80 million. Johnson retired at the age of just 31. That's shockingly short, is it not? Johnson's early retirement was not exactly pleasant. Johnson's back problems necessitated pricey procedures, yet were essential for him to function. Johnson filed for bankruptcy in 2015 when it was discovered he owed a colossal sum in child support. Even worse, he owed a woman $890,000 for back child support. Offering the woman his home in California was the only way he knew how to settle his obligation. The woman accepted the offer, and it appears that Johnson's obligation was settled. As of right now, not much is known about his financial situation. 3. Derrick Coleman, career earnings, $91,300,000. Derrick Coleman made one of the most promising professional debuts in recent memory. He spent the first 5 years of his career with the New Jersey Nets, who selected him with the #1 overall choice. He followed that up with back-to-back All-NBA selections in 1993 and 1994, earning his first and only All-Star nod in '94. He continued to play for 3 other clubs for a total of another 10 seasons and earned nearly $90 million. It would not be long before everything was lost. After retiring in 2005, Derrick Coleman declared bankruptcy in 2010. Coleman's profits were lost for reasons that are unknown, although they have always been blamed on his extravagant lifestyle and excessive drinking. 2. Latrell Spruill, career earnings, $97 million. I got a family to feed. After declining a huge $21 million contract extension with the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2004, Latrell Spruill would live with his words haunting him. After the 2005 campaign, he would never sign another contract. Spruill was a fantastic basketball player for the Warriors and Knicks before that, though. The 4-time NBA All-Star was a nightly 20-point threat, and as thrilling to see in action as anybody. His attitude problems were well known, including the infamous choking of his former head coach. But that didn't stop him from amassing a career income of nearly $100 million. Spruill seems to have lost everything just 3 years after retiring. Federal marshals confiscated and stored Spruill's boat in 2008 after he stopped making payments on it. Only a few months later, Spruill failed on his mortgage, resulting in the foreclosure of his $1.5 million property. 1. Antoine Walker, career earnings, $108 million. Never did Antoine Walker encounter a shot he didn't enjoy taking. He was simply that kind of player. Walker, who stands at 6'8" inches for a power forward, managed to succeed in the NBA despite his height. His professional career was worth more than $100 million. Antoine Walker can be said to have the fastest decline from rich to bankrupt. Walker filed for bankruptcy just 1 year after his team, Miami, had won the title. And while he was still working to advance his career with Minnesota, Walker admits that his bad gaming habits and legal costs from previous run-ins with the authorities are the main causes of his financial problems. Walker has appeared to climb out of the hole, and you can see him often on ESPN's NBA program in the morning and the afternoon. So guys, this was our list of how NBA players went broke. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more NBA content. We'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care and make smart choices.